Tampa Bay is like no place else.
Wait, you can't recycle the bag. You have to throw it away.
Proper recycling keeps it that way for everyone. Bags tangle in machinery and can bring sorting efforts to a halt.
No bags.
Trash the bags and keep our recycling program moving forward.
No, Mom, look. No plastic bags.
Do your part to keep our recycling bag-free. Trash the tanglers or return them to participating retailers. For more information, visit tampabayrecycles.org.
Don't let mosquitoes ruin your day. Fight the bite by removing standing water on your property. Standing water of any kind is a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Do your part and help reduce the mosquito population.
Visit hcfl.gov/fightthebite.
So you have now completed your emergency plan for your family. How about a plan for this family member? Protect your pets during a disaster by including them in your family's emergency plan. Start by making your pet a disaster kit. Put all paperwork into a large Ziploc bag, including a picture of you and your pet, your contact information, vaccination information, and special care instructions. In addition, you should pack certain items to help your pet during the emergency. A 7-day supply of food with bowls, a travel crate, and your pet's favorite toy. Remember, shelters are the place of last resort. Your plan should include being far away from the disaster's epicenter. But if you do find yourself at the shelter, know the rules. Once at the shelter, your pet will be placed in a designated animal section. This is for your pet's safety, as well as other shelter residents. Knowing the shelter rules helps everyone stay safe during an emergency. For more information about shelters, their location, rules, and how to get ready for a disaster, go to hcfl.gov/staysafe.
Good morning and welcome to the March 31st, 2025 Land Use Hearing Officer meeting. I'm Pamela Jo Hatley, and I'll be serving as your land use hearing officer this morning. Before we start with the meeting, please stand as you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. All right, thank you. Again, I'm Pamela Jo Hatley. I'll be serving as your land use hearing officer this morning. If you have any devices on you that make noise, would you please silence those at this time? And thank you for that. All right, and then I would like to go ahead and introduce Ms. Colleen Marshall of the Development Services Department, and Ms. Marshall will introduce staff and any agenda changes, withdrawals, and continuances.
Good morning, Colleen Marshall, Development Services. To my left is Mary Dorman of the Hillsborough County County Attorney's Office. Alexis Myers, the Planning Commission staff, will be presenting virtually. During the course of the hearing, a number of other planners will be presenting their findings for various cases and will be introduced for each item. We have one change to the published agenda. Agenda page 9, item I3, special use 250408, applicant's Harvest Time of Tampa Incorporated. And the applicant's requesting a continuance to the May 27th, 2025 Land Use Hearing Officer hearing.
All right, is the applicant here? This is for special use 25-0408, Harvest Time of Tampa. Is the applicant here, please? All right, well, shall we proceed? And if the applicant representative comes in, we'll hear from them at that time.
Sure. We have a number of published continuances. Item A1, variance 241128. The applicant is Rolando Santiago. This application is out of order to be heard and is being continued to the April 21st, 2025 Land Use Hearing Officer hearing. Item A2, special use 241238. The applicant is Todd Pressman. This application is out of order to be heard and is being continued to the April 21st, 2025 Land Use Hearing Officer hearing. Item A3, special use 241335. The applicant is David Wright, TSP Companies Incorporated. This application is out of order to be heard and being continued to the April 21st, 2025 Land Use Hearing Officer hearing. Item A4, special use 250384. The applicant is Thompson Fuel Incorporated. This application is out of order to be heard and is being continued to the April 21st, 2025 Land Use Hearing Officer hearing. Item A5, variance 250446. The applicant is Francisco and Dana Gonzalez. This application is being continued by the applicant to the April 21st, 2025 Land Use Hearing Officer hearing. Item A6, appeal 250475. The applicant is Greystone at Lake Pretty, LLC. And this application is being continued by the applicant to the April 21st, 2025 Land Use Hearing Officer hearing. This concludes the withdrawals and continuances.
All right, thank you. Let me just ask again. Is the applicant's representative for special use 25-0408, Harvest Time of Tampa, is the applicant present? Okay.
Good morning, Madam Hearing Officer Matt Newton from Older Lundy, 1000 West Cass Street, here on behalf of the applicant.
All right, thank you. Are you requesting a continuance for this case?
Yes, Madam Hearing Officer.
All right. And your reasons for requesting a continuance?
Of course, Madam. We have some proposed changes that were requested too late to the hearing date. Okay. So to make sure that the public is aware of them, we do require this continuance.
All right, thank you. Then the continuance date is May 27th, 2025, and I'm granting the continuance. So special use case 25-0408, Harvest Time of Tampa Incorporated. This case is continued to the May 27th, 2025 Land Use Hearing Officer meeting.
Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. And
Sir, could you come sign in?
please sign in with the clerk. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, then. Okay, the meeting this morning We will consider agenda items that require a public hearing by a hearing master. I will conduct a hearing on each item today and will submit a decision within 15 working days of the conclusion of today's public hearings. My decisions will be filed with the clerk of the Board of County Commissioners. The hearings today are informal. I will ask questions related to the scope of direct testimony and may call and question witnesses as I deem appropriate. I will decide all questions of procedure. I will take evidence, but will exclude evidence that is irrelevant, immaterial, or unduly repetitious. Evidence may be presented in written form, and all testimony today shall be under oath. Hearsay evidence may be used to supplement or explain other evidence, but shall not be sufficient alone to support a finding of fact unless it would be admissible over objections in a civil court action. The order of presentation today shall be as follows. For variances, staff will call the case, and then Development Services will have 5 minutes to present its report and findings. The applicant and the applicant's witnesses will have 15 minutes to present the proposal. Proponents will have 15 minutes to present arguments in support of the proposal. Opponents will have 15 minutes to present arguments against the proposal. County staff will then have 5 minutes to present any amended findings or comments, and then the applicant will have 5 minutes for rebuttal and summation. For special use cases, staff will call the case. Then the applicant and the applicant's witnesses will have 15 minutes to present the proposal, and then County Development Services will have 5 minutes to present its report and findings. Planning Commission then will have 5 minutes to present findings of compliance or noncompliance with the comprehensive plan. Proponents will have 15 minutes to present arguments in support of the proposal. Opponents will then have 15 minutes to present arguments against the proposal. And then county staff will have 5 minutes to present any amended findings or comments, and the applicant will have 5 minutes for rebuttal and summation. The 15 minutes for proponents and opponents is the total time allotted among all speakers. So if there are a number of persons who wish to speak on an item, those 15 minutes will be distributed among those speakers. Also, if there are a number of persons here to speak on an item, you may wish to designate a single spokesperson to represent your views. When you come to the microphone today, please first state your name and address for the record. The meeting is being recorded, so please speak into the microphone so your testimony can be heard and recorded. And when you're finished speaking, please see the clerk to sign in for the record. All right, all testimony today, well, I'm skipping something here. The county attorney's office will now hear from the county attorney's office on the legal requirements for appeals of the Lujo's decision.
Good morning. Mary Dorman from the county attorney's office. This land use hearing officer public hearing is for variance and special use requests. This is the time for interested parties to present evidence and testimony. Once the land use hearing officer has closed a case, the record of that case is also closed, and no new evidence regarding that case may be submitted thereafter. Any decision by the land use hearing officer may be appealed to the Land Use Appeals Board. Should a decision of the land use hearing officer be appealed, the record evidence, including the testimony presented at this public hearing, shall be the only evidence that is subject to review by the Land Use Appeals Board. In reaching a final decision on petitions, the Land Use Appeals Board will only consider the decision of the land use hearing officer and the record evidence, including any evidence from this public hearing. If an appeal is filed, the Land Use Appeals Board hearing shall consist of oral argument by the party appealing the decision, county staff, and any interveners, each of whom may be represented by legal counsel. The following shall have standing to appeal a decision of the land use hearing officer or to intervene in an appeal. 1, the applicant, or 2, anyone who appeared before the land use hearing officer, presented testimony or other evidence, and is adversely affected by the decision of the land use hearing officer. It is the role of the county attorney's office to ensure that no new evidence or testimony is allowed before the Land Use Appeals Board that was not presented to the land use hearing officer at today's hearing. The county attorney will recommend that the Land Use Appeals Board disregard evidence or testimony that is outside the record made at today's public hearing. Any evidence presented to the Land Use Appeals Board that is outside the record created at today's hearing could jeopardize the legality of the Land Use Appeals Board decision, and the presenter of that evidence could hurt their own cause. The safest course of action, then, is for you to write down any comments you make today and repeat them to the Land Use Appeals Board.
All right, thank you, Ms. Dorman. Now, all testimony today must be under oath, so if you do plan to speak today, would you please stand and raise your hand to be sworn in? And if there's anyone online who plans to speak virtually, also please raise your hand to be sworn in. All right. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
I do.
All right, Ms. Marshall, we are ready to hear the first case.
Today's agenda, we have no vested rights, fee waivers, remands, or reconsideration requests, which brings us to Section F, Site Development Variance Requests. Item F1, Variance 250341. The applicant is Raul Hernandez Pinro and Meredith Corvo Rodriguez. The request is a variance to encroach into the wetland setback. Staff findings will be provided by Wayne Doyen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wayne Doyen, Hillsborough County Natural Resources. This is variance application 25-0341. Request summary. The applicant is requesting a variance from the 30-foot wetland conservation area setback requirement, section 4.01.07.B.4 of the Land Development Code. The applicant's specific request, as shown on the site plan submitted on 018-2025, is for the after-the-fact construction of a building within the 30-foot wetland conservation area setback for wetland B on the property. LDC section 4.01.07.B.4, LDC requirement, no filling, excavating, or placement of permanent structures or other pervious surfaces shall be allowed within a required 30-foot wetland conservation area setback. Variance, 19.6-foot max encroachment into the wetland setback for the after-the-fact building, 10.6-foot remaining wetland setback. Findings, a wetland setback compensation planting plan has been provided on the site plan dated 1/8/2025 that provides equivalent square footage of compensation planting to the amount of encroachment.
Okay, Mr. Doyen, just looking at the staff report and the way and what you read, the request is for a variance for the setback of wetland B. What about wetland A? Is there a wetland A?
It is, but it's on the other side. The wetland B wraps around the building from the top to the bottom, and then wetland A is going to be on the, I'm going to say the
I see.
east side of the area.
Okay, just one second. I'm looking at the survey. So the wetland on the south side is also wetland B?
Correct, ma'am. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, the north end, on the encroachments on only wetland B on the north and south side.
All right. So the building encroaches on the north and south, the wetland B, and there's just a little portion of the building in the middle that's actually in the upland. Is that correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay. I understand it now. Thank you.
No problem, ma'am.
Okay. All right, applicant. All right, come to the microphone first, please, and then we'll sign in. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Raul Hernandez.
My name is William Diaz. I'm his interpreter.
All right, then I suppose we will have the applicant present his testimony and then your interpretation.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And I need addresses for both of you, please, on the record.
1112 Lake Charles Circle, Lux, Florida 33548.
Okay.
William Diaz, 926 Lake Charles Circle, Lutz, 33548.
Okay, and just so you know, that microphone moves, and so you can just bring the boom right over to yourself when you speak, all right? Thank you. All right, yes, sir. Mr. Hernandez, right? Mr. Hernandez, please. Well, I'm the applicant.
Right, he's the applicant. What,
We will hear from the applicant and then your interpretation. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And I need to know what you're requesting, and I need to hear from you about the variance criteria, so the hardship criteria.
necesitas saber lo que tú estás pidiendo, cuál es el motivo de que tú estás pidiendo el variance.
Ok, estoy pidiendo la variante para que me den, tú sabes, papel, para que
All right.
primero que me...
I understand you're speaking Spanish, but could you speak into the microphone, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Estoy pidiendo la variante, un building que hice, un storage, para guardar las cosas mías, de mi hija, y necesito que me den la variante para poder el proceso. Tengo después que me apliquen la variante, que el número de permiso, seguir con el proceso.
The variant is being asked because there was a storage unit that was built on the property to store family stuff, et cetera, and he needs the variance so he can require the building permit to move forward.
Okay. When did the applicant acquire the property? When did he purchase the property?
¿Cuándo fue que compraste la propiedad?
Hace 2 años.
It's been 2 years.
Okay. And did the applicant construct the storage building?
¿Tú construiste el storage building?
Sí.
Yes.
And he constructed it without permits?
¿Tú lo construiste sin permiso?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any hardships related to the property itself that prevented that required the building to be constructed in that location, in the wetland conservation setback area?
Si hubo alguna,
And speak into the microphone, please.
si hubo alguna dificultad que tú tuviste que construirlo en ese lugar y no en cualquier otra posición en la propiedad.
No lo hice ahí porque me era mejor para mí.
He built it there because it was better for him in that location.
Okay. Is there anything else that he wishes to put on the record?
¿Hay cualquier otra cosa que quieras añadir para el récord, para los documentos?
¿Qué tú me sugieres?
I need to hear the testimony. I can't have you just...
Yeah, no.
That's it.
No, that's it.
Okay, all right. Both of you, please be sure and sign in with the clerk.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? I need you to come forward to the microphone and state your name and address first, please.
My name is James Hall. I live at 1110 Lake Charles Circle in Lutz, Florida. I live right next door to Mr. Hernandez. The way that property is laid out, there's property on Lake Charles, but then there's 2 wings. One goes back and one goes back and to the left on his property. They're about 35, 40 feet wide. The piece of the shed that they're talking about is the one that goes straight back. It's between 2 ponds. One pond, the one on the north side, I believe to be a natural pond. The one on the south side, where the problem is for the variance, is a man-made pond that was dug back in the 70s, I believe. I think what the lady that used to live there told me. And they raise catfish. And it's sometimes during the year it's completely dry. Right now it has water in it because of Milton, but normally it's dry. Just a patch of weeds, and it's about 10 to 15 feet deep at the deepest end. but it's unusable. You can't do anything with it. You can't mow it. You can't put any property, any buildings or anything on it. It's just unusable land. So the best place for him to place his storage unit was straight back on that one piece of property. It's about, I think it's about 30, 35, 40 feet wide. And he placed it towards the back of his property. So instead of up front, which he has some usable land up front, but those two pieces, those two wings are basically unusable for anything other than like a storage unit.
Okay, sir. You said you live adjacent to the applicant's
Right next
property.
door,
Are
yeah.
you on the south?
On the south side.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Is there anything further?
No.
All right, thank you, sir. Be sure and sign in here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next speaker, please. Is there another speaker?
I'm Donald Renner. I live on the north side of him, 2 doors down. And all I can say about the property, it has been much improved since Raul took it over. The swamps, the wetlands are more swampy than actually a pond, but now he has a nice looking pond. And about what happened between the two, I cannot tell you because I live a little bit further away. And these properties are not 50-foot lots, they are 180-foot lots. And so there's quite a bit of other growth between the two, so I cannot actually see his property that close. Except, like I say, it has improved considerable since he moved there, as far as I'm concerned. Now, the county decides about wetland stuff, but that's their problem, not mine.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. And be sure and sign in right here. Thank you. All right, is there anyone else who wishes to speak in support of this application? This is in support.
Should we come together? We live across the street, my husband and I.
Okay, if you're both going to speak, then speak separately, but if you're...
Okay. My name is Sarah Pope, and I live at 1109 Lake Charles Circle, right directly across the street from Raul. I wanted to speak in support of Raul. He has improved the property considerably since he moved in. It's a lovely family, a great addition to the neighborhood, and I don't think where the building is so incredibly problematic that it harms the natural setting behind the property. And it's no problem for us. We're in support of his application and hope it's approved. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Be sure and sign in. Next speaker, please.
My name is Richard Pope. I also live at 1109 Lake Charles Circle, and I'm speaking in support. I would say that the cleaning up and the changes that Mr. Hernandez has made have been definitely beneficial to the neighborhood, and everybody in the neighborhood is very aware of the natural qualities and the wetland priorities, and everybody that I've spoken to, and certainly I feel that way myself, feel like it's really been an asset to the area, and we can enjoy more of the wetlands and actually notice that they're there because he cleaned up that area so much, and I think he's making good use of the land.
All right, sir, thank you so much. All right, is there anyone else who wishes to speak in support of this application? All right, I do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, do not hear anyone. County Development Services, anything further? All right, that is a no. Applicant, did you have anything further to put on the record?
Buenas de nuevo. Construí esto pensando mejor para mí, para mi familia. No creo que le ocasione daño a nadie.
He built this to improve the property and to improve the property overall.
No creo que le haga daño a nadie. Necesito el Estora, lo he hecho todo bien. Trato de hacer las cosas muy bien. Gracias si me aprueban la variante.
He says that the building was built well and that it helps the overall improvement of the property, and he thanks you if it's approved.
All right. Thank you very much. Then
Thank you.
This will close the hearing on variance WS 25-0341. Next case, please.
This brings us to Section G, sign variance request. Item G1, variance 25-0409. The applicant is Chelsea Court Community Association. The request is a variance to sign requirements. Staff findings will be provided by Michelle Montalbano.
Good morning, Michelle Montalbano, Development Services. The applicant is requesting setback variances to accommodate a proposed residential entry sign for a new townhome development. The property is zoned RMC 12. The proposed sign placement requires 2 setback variances to the front right-of-way line and to the side property line to the north of the sign. Per LDC Section 703, the minimum ground sign setback from neighboring property lines is 10 feet. The variance request is for 7 feet, resulting in a 3-foot side yard setback. Additionally, an 8-foot tall monument sign requires a 19-foot setback to the front right-of-way property line. Therefore, the applicant is requesting a 10-foot variance to result in a 9-foot front yard setback. The variance request is associated with an active building permit, which was denied by sign review staff due to the setback encroachments. I'm available if you have any questions.
All right, thank you. I have no questions for you. Applicant?
Good morning. My name's Lance Hoy. I'm 5305 Moonshell Drive, Apollo Beach. I'm not sure if you've gone to the property or not. I do have photos to kind of give you a little bit of idea. I can pass them on to you if you'd like for your review.
You're welcome to put them into the record, and I will see them.
Okay. You want them now?
No, sir, but you could show them on the overhead if they're part of your presentation there.
Okay, sure. There's a few things that needs to come up. The property is very unique, that it doesn't really have any, from property line to the secondary property line where they want to place a sign is 17 feet. So by trying to maintain even the 10-foot setback on the rear, it's going to put it pretty much on the other side of the sidewalk, which is then not on the property. The front setback, even with the smallest sign that they could possibly put in place, which would be 4 feet, would also encroach into the rear setback. So it's kind of a missed effort. But this is from the counties.
All right, and just bring that microphone over with you if you need to, so we can hear your testimony.
This is from the county's website to kind of show you. This is the common area, and then all of this other property here and here are part of the. Here we go. Part of separate property lots. So all of these are individual property lots, and this is really how much area you have, and where they're wanting to place a sign is to the left of the entrance. They're having to move the sign even further away from the entrance due to the property angle in the very front. Here is some photos of the property, the sidewalk. This side of the sidewalk is the property line. So from the property line to here, you only have about 15 feet. So now, if you go all the way out to the street and come in, you have 25 feet. So the sign's going to be parallel. It's going to be a single-sided sign parallel to the fence, so it'll be running this way. They're going to be backing the sign up over in this area and over here, and like I say, the entrance is here. You can kind of see where we're at. These are all individual parcels all the way back on both sides for these condominiums. So you really don't have a lot of room in the front. The other side of the property actually gets narrower But then also over here, as you can see, they have the main big water pipes that run through here. This is directly across the street. It's a corporate center. It's got some sort of monument sign in place. This is the sign that they are requesting. It's a very attractive sign. It's going to be, like, say, single-sided. It'll be running lengthwise. Here's one with a few more dimensions on it. Kind of shows you what the entire sign looks like. So the sign's not going to be an obstruction to traffic. It's going to identify the property. So as these units get sold, it'll help the folks that are coming to look for the place to be able to find the place. It's just a very limited common area to put the sign. So I guess that's kind of the biggest hardship is the property, the way the property was designed and laid out initially. That got, started this whole process.
Okay, and are you with the applicant community association, or are you with the sign company, or?
We're representing the sign company, correct?
Okay, I see. And so I've looked at the plat, and it appears in the platting, there wasn't a whole lot of options as to where to put this sign, as you've described this morning. Would you say, in your opinion, that there's no other practicable or feasible place to locate the sign on this property?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. All right. Any other testimony you have?
No, that's it.
All right. Thank you, sir. Be sure and sign in with the clerk, and you can yes, provide those documents to the clerk. Thank you. I believe there's one more that was left on the overhead. There you go. Thank you. All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? All right, do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, do not hear anyone. County Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further.
All right. And applicant, do you have anything further you wish to put on the record?
No, ma'am. Just thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Then this will close the hearing on variance 25-0409.
Next item is item G2, variance 25-0439. The applicant is Zach Davis. The request is a variance to sign requirements. Staff findings will be provided by Michelle Montalbano.
Michelle Montalbano, Development Services. The applicant is requesting setback variances to accommodate a proposed residential entry sign for a new townhome development. The property is zoned PD 20-0365, which permits 115 townhome residences. The proposed sign placement requires 2 setback variances to the front right-of-way line and to the side property line to the northeast of the sign. Per LDC Section 703, the minimum ground sign setback from neighboring property lines is 10 feet. The variance request is for 7 feet and 1 inch, resulting in a 2 foot and 11 inches side yard setback. Additionally, a 12-foot tall monument sign requires a 23-foot setback to the front right-of-way property line. Therefore, the applicant is requesting a 16 feet and 7 inches variance to result in a 6 foot and 5 inches front yard setback. I'm available if you have any questions.
I have no questions for you. Thank you. All right, applicant.
Good morning, Zach Davis, 6414 Beaver Way, Tampa, Florida, 33625. So we're requesting the variance. Essentially, we don't have a lot of room out there anywhere to put a sign, but we need one. And to the east of our property, there's a wetland, so it didn't give us a lot of option there. And essentially, all the way along that road is right-of-way or property line setbacks that kind of overlap.
Okay, and did you say you're with the...
I'm with the home builder.
Okay.
Ashton Woods.
Okay. Then I guess the same question I had for the other applicant. Is it your opinion that there's no other practicable or feasible place on this property to locate the sign?
Unfortunately, no. The next best place would be near the entrance, and I think it would just have, there'd be some obstruction problems with line of sight with people leaving and coming in the development.
Okay. Anything further you wish to put on the record?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Be sure and sign in with the clerk. All right. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? Do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right. I do not hear anyone. County Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Applicant, did you have anything further for the record? All right. That's a no from the applicant. And this will close the hearing on variance 25-0439.
Next item is item G3, variance 25-0443. The applicant is Walmart Stores East LP. The request is a variance to sign requirements. Staff findings will be provided by Sam Ball.
Good morning, Sam Ball of Development Services. The applicant is requesting 2 variances to accommodate the construction of 1 ground sign on a property located at the southeast corner of US 41 and Lacey Road in Apollo Beach. The Land Development Code, Section 730C2B1, limits the maximum allowable aggregate sign area for each ground sign shall not exceed 1 square foot for each lineal foot of public street frontage on the street where the sign is located, or 100 square feet, whichever is less, and no single sign face shall exceed 50 square feet in aggregate sign area. The applicant is requesting 134 square feet of additional aggregate monument sign area with up to 117 square feet of sign area per sign face, which would result in a monument sign with 234 square feet of aggregate sign area, where 100 square feet is the maximum on the ground sign facing the intersection of 41 and Lacey Road. Section 730C1C for the minimum monument sign setback is that monument sign shall be set back a minimum of 15 feet from the right-of-way, but shall be permitted an increase in height of 1 foot for each 1 foot of additional setback provided from the right-of-way line up to a maximum height of 30 feet. The applicant is requesting an 18-foot setback reduction for a monument sign, which would result in a 17-foot tall monument sign with a 10-foot front setback from North Highway 31, Brandon Mill right-of-way, where 28 feet would be required. I'd like to add that the subject sign was approved to have 198 square feet, with up to 99 square feet per face under variance 24-190. Variance 24-190 did not include a reduction of the minimum setback requirements. That concludes my presentation. Do you have any questions?
Well, just to make sure I understand, so the proposed, or the subject sign is approved to have 198 square feet, 99 square feet on each side of sign face. And with this variance, that's being changed to 234 square feet?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, applicant?
Good morning. Hearing officer Todd Pressman, 200 2nd Avenue South, number 451 in St. Petersburg. This is variance 25-0443. We are located in the Apollo Beach area. Per the property appraiser, this is the site on 41. 3 sign variances were approved by the LUHO in February of 2024, which is under variance 24-0190. This is a large development with a Walmart and a number of out parcels, ran residential component. This was as prior proposed. What's before you today actually this request and the next request. This request today is before you at this moment is sign D. We're going to look at sign B at the next application, just to give you the overview, give you the perspective of where we are today. So again, this is for a modification of sign D is indicated here, very near the intersection of 41 and Brander Mill. So as just reviewed, monument sign D is approved for 198 square foot aggregate, approved previously. What's proposed today is 234 square feet aggregate. The only change is in the gas sign. So when you look at the prior approved, the only change in square footage is designed specifically for the gas sign. So today's request is 36 square feet requested by...
Quick question. When you say the gas sign, you mean that little portion of the whole monument that's below the Walmart logo?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
The second item for this request is a setback issue, as reviewed by staff. A 10-foot setback is requested. We're requesting a variance of 18 feet on the setback. So the purposes and the hardship that we're working around are the same as what was reviewed at the prior variance, which is that there is a pretty significant restriction on access points by FDOT for the site. So there's only one main access at this point at 41 and one main access at Brander Mill. There is a minor right-in only closer to US 41. So again, as proposed, sign D at the corner located there. But that places the difficulty on the property as a 900-foot, more or less, distance to that sign from that main access on 41, and the same as Brander Mill. So the desire and hope and need as people are looking at signage is to provide a minimal visibility for the gas price and gas signage. So looking at US 41, 4-lane divided highway, very busy, obviously very busy roadway, carries approximately 30,000, 33,000 vehicles per day. During the development of the site, the transportation consultant noted that due to the proximity of the access of 41, they would only allow a right-in for the westernmost access on Brander Mill, and only one access on 41 for the project. So these are very expansive, very busy, high-dense roadways. This is the intersection which has to be negotiated as well as people are looking at signage, particularly price signage and gas signage. On the variance request, what we want to make you aware of is that there's a significant distance of right-of-way. On the Brander Mill, it's 33.5 feet additional right-of-way in regard to the request for variance. So the distance to the edge of the roadway is actually much larger than just to the property line. And in Brander Mill, it's approximately 29.5 feet in that regard. So looking at placing monument relocated, noting relocated monument sign D, even though we're asking for a variance of 10 feet, there's substantial and tremendous room to the edge of the street. So this is a closer view that shows you the edge of pavement from the property line, which provides plenty of distance and ends up being quite a significant setback from the edge of roadway.
Okay, can you stop on this slide, please? Yeah, that one. So the black line with dashes in it is the edge of the pavement.
The heavy black line is the property line.
It's the property line?
Yes.
Okay.
And then showing in the yellow highlights edge to pavement.
The edge of the pavement goes all the way up to the property line?
Yeah, the right-of-way from the edge of road, I don't think the cursor works here.
Okay, so maybe the right-of-way goes to the edge of, goes to the property line, is that right?
From the edge of 41 to the property line is all right-of-way. That's 33.5 feet.
Okay,
So
I think I see my mistake. I think the edge of the pavement is on the other side of that arrow up close to where it says US 41.
Yes, correct.
Okay, and then that area is part of the right-of-way, but it's not paved.
Correct.
Okay, and then there's the property line, and then there's 10 feet, and then the sign.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And so then, the sign was formally approved in a prior variance to be located where it says on this slide, it says Monument Sign D, and it points to a gray area.
Correct.
Okay. So why does the sign need to be moved then to a new location?
Well, primarily, again, to be sure that we're providing the best visibility for gas signage with a site that has severely restricted access points, and to provide the safest manner for visibility for accessing of vehicles on their vehicle movements on US 41 and Brandonville.
Okay, so there's nothing necessarily on the property or required in the development that prevented that sign from going to the originally approved location. It's just for better visibility.
Better visibility, which is at the heart of the purpose of the sign code.
Okay. And I guess the same question would apply to the sign face size. The additional size is required for visibility? Is that correct?
So as we looked at the variances prior, for the prior approval, those were all based upon a restriction of the access points and resulting ability of vehicles and persons being able to properly see signage and being able to react to it and to place them in the best position possible.
Okay. All right, thank you.
We did ask the architects who were involved. This is a letter from them. I'll put this in the record as well, noting for the reasons as indicated in the letter, setback, sign height, area all driven by the required setbacks and speed limits for the roadways that will reduce public's ability to easily and safely view the fuel price identification signs from their vehicles and navigate the site. And it goes on to note a number of the elements that I mentioned here, but we did ask the architect to look at that and also make an opinion in the record. And this you've seen again, which is the restrictions that were required by governmental authority. So when you look at the purpose and intent of the sign code, it is to provide the minimum control signage to promote the health, safety, general welfare of citizens by lessening hazards to pedestrians, vehicular traffic, preventing unsightly and detrimental signs, by ensuring good and attractive design that will strengthen the county's appearance. So as I've emphasized, we believe it falls into the same category as the prior variance that was approved last time around, particularly in regard to the safety, general welfare, and the ability of the site to properly sign the uses on the site.
All right. Any concern, or is there anything in the record that speaks to the visibility of that road coming out onto, what is it, 41? Where the traffic signal is?
I'm sorry, the question is?
For visibility. Any concern about visibility if that sign is placed, in the location being requested, visibility for drivers, vehicles coming out of that side road onto 41?
Do you mean Lacey Road that's shown here?
It's on the, in this display, it's on the top.
Oh, Shore Boulevard, Sunfish?
I don't know the name of the road, but I think it's Lacey, actually.
No, because the intersection is very expansive, very large, as they show in the photo, so no problem whatsoever.
Okay. All righty. Anything further?
No.
All right. Thank you very much. Be sure and sign in. All right. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? All right. I don't hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right. I do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And Mr. Pressman, did you have anything further?
No, thank you.
That's a no. All right. Thank you. This will close the hearing on variance 25-0443.
Next item is item G4, variance 250444. The applicant is Castro Lizzie LLC. The request is a variance to sign requirements. Staff findings will be provided by Sam Ball.
Good morning, Sam Ball, Development Services. The applicant is requesting a variance to accommodate the construction of a ground sign to be located near the southeast corner of 41 and Lacey Road. According to Land Development Code 730C2B1, the maximum aggregate sign area is 100 square feet, maximum 50 square feet per face, based on the roadway frontage of. Based on the roadway frontage, basically. The applicant is requesting 156 square feet of additional sign area with up to 128 square feet per face, which would result in a sign of 256 square feet, where 100 square feet is the maximum. The previous variance allowed 224 square feet, with 112 square feet per face, and that was variance 24-10190 also. So that concludes my presentation.
Okay, so then basically like the other one, this sign was previously approved in a variance to have up to 224 square feet, and this variance is requesting just additional area for the sign, so up to 256 square feet.
That is correct.
Okay, I understand then. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Okay. All right, applicant.
Good morning, Hearing Officer Todd Pressman, 202nd Avenue South, number 451 in St. Petersburg. This request is very similar to the last. We're again in the Apollo Beach area. 3 sign variances were approved for the entire development under 24-0190. Same development that we saw just a few minutes ago and is prior approved. So we're looking at sign B in this circumstance, noted as per the property appraiser. And again, sign B, which is at the other access point. So 224 square foot aggregate was approved previously for sign B. 256 square feet aggregate is proposed today. In the same regard, the only change is the gas signage. So looking at the smaller to the larger. So 32 square feet is proposed today. Same elements in terms of the restrictions of the access points. Sign B is by the one main access point to the left, as it is posted, as I've shown you that location, sign B. And again, significant restriction of access points in regard to visibility of signage that's really required for the public and for vehicular movements and safe vehicular movements. Same element applies here in terms of the governmental restriction. Still dealing with a very highly traveled, fast speed arterial roadways, and at the intersection in Brander Mill, 33,000 vehicles per day. This letter from the architects addresses this site as well. He addressed both signs that are proposed before today. And again, obviously, of course, the same purpose and intent in regard to minimum control signage, promote the health, safety, and general welfare of citizens. So with that, any other questions, we'll be happy to answer them for you.
Okay, and I think staff answered my question, but this is just, the sign was approved, but the applicant has decided they want it to be a little bit larger.
Specifically for that gas signage, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just looking at your variance criteria response. There wasn't a response to the first one related to hardships or practical difficulties. Could you speak to that?
What was your first comment?
I'm looking at your variance criteria response that's in the record. And the very first one is explain how the alleged hardships or practical difficulties are unique and singular to the subject property and not those suffered in common with other properties similarly located.
Sure.
And you may have covered that in your testimony. Would you just point me to the answer, because there's nothing in the variance criteria response?
That's what I thought. I'm not sure why that is,
Okay.
because that was filled out. Sometimes I get a little bit of a bug between the apple.
Oh, I see.
So as in the prior request, the substantiation for hardship and singular elements is the same, which, not to beat a dead horse, is the overall tremendous restriction of access points and the coordination of visibility of signage for vehicles and vehicular movements, which I discussed and presented a number of times.
Okay, and it appears that this sign serves not only the Walmart and the gasoline station, but also some out parcels, is that correct? It'll have some out parcels on it?
That's correct.
Okay, all righty. I don't think I have any further questions for you.
Thank you. I will point out, and just maybe make more emphasis, that where you have a number of out parcels, as an example, which you will recognize, there are no access points whatsoever. So there's a lot of pressure in terms of signage reacting from the restrictions of the site.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're signed in for both of those cases, is that right, clerk? All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pressman. All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? Do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, do not hear anyone. And Development Services, anything further?
Just wanted to clarify, on the variance criteria response, I'm just going to check the link in the agenda. When I pull it up in optics, it is showing all of them.
Okay, good. It's not showing in the backup that
okay, maybe the link, okay. But it should, in the optics file, it is in there, and it does have the answers for all of those.
Thank you very much. I will pull that from the optics file. Thank you. All right, applicant, anything further?
No, thank you. We appreciate your attention, consideration.
Thank you. All right, this will close the hearing on variance 25-0444.
This brings us to section H, variance request. Item H1, variance 250257. The applicant is Ryan Homes, Florida Incorporated. The request is a variance to lot development standards, and I'll present the staff findings. The applicant's requesting a 2-foot variance to the required 5-foot side yard setback to allow a 3-foot side yard setback for the proposed townhome villa. Happy to answer any questions.
All right, I don't think I have any questions for staff. Thank you. Applicant.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Todd Amidon, 8515 Palm River Road in Tampa. This is a new project, a new subdivision project, where we had 2 lot setback issues. We submitted these together. The previous one was heard last month, and this one had a noticing issue and was pushed. Ideally, these would be heard together. The other one was approved, but what we had is a townhome project, paired villa, or maybe what you would call a duplex, where this is a flagship project for William Ryan Homes. It's a new product they were developing. So we designed the project and the layout, designed and permitted it, and then we get to the point they added an 8-foot lanai to the rear of both. You can see there on the graphic what on the outside corners. So adding an 8-foot lanai created 2 setback issues. In this case, what you see is an encroachment of that lanai into the side setback there where it pushed back. The other application, we had an option of replatting it. Both sides were pie-shaped. We could have moved that center lot line and chose this process as, to be funny, the lesser of 2 evils. In this case, you could see Lot 33 is a perfectly rectangular lot. Replatting this would not work, and so we are here today to ask your approval of this reduction in the side setback for the lanai on Lot 34. And I will note that the little math ratios, the encroachment, the linear encroachment of the east lot line is 163 feet. The linear encroachment is 7 feet, which represents about 4%. And then area-wise, the encroachment is 7 square feet, and that yard or buffer yard is 815 square feet. So what we're essentially asking for is less than 1% reduction in the area of that yard. And then finally, as you can see, that setback adjacent to Lot 37, I'd have a lot more concern if that was a side setback, but that is a rear setback. So we're not getting less than that 5 foot, 5 foot.
Okay, and I'm looking at the this excerpt, I guess it is, from the plat. So it appears from your testimony and the application that the hardship is related to the shape of this property. It's sort of triangular shaped. Is that correct?
Pie-shaped, triangular shaped, yes, ma'am.
And you said, I believe you're with the builder?
I'm an engineer. I represent the builder, William Ryan Homes. I'm the engineer of record for the project. It's called Fairway Palms.
Okay, thank you. Is it your opinion then that this lot could not be developed, at least consistent with this project, without the variance?
That is correct.
Okay. Anything further you wish to put on the record?
Nothing further from me.
All right, thank you. Be sure and sign in.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? Do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, I do not hear anyone. County Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further, thank you.
Okay. And applicant, Mr. Amadin, did you have anything further? All right, that is a no from the applicant. So this will close the hearing on variance 25-0257.
Next item is item H2, variance 25-0277. The applicant is Hush Govey, Northside Engineering Incorporated. The request is a variance to Citrus Park Village development standards and variance to landscaping and buffer requirements. Staff findings will be provided by Caroline Peddle.
Good morning, Caroline Peddle, Development Services. Again, this is variance 25-0277. The applicant is requesting a variance to the perimeter buffer adjacent to the parking area driveway within the off-street vehicular use area. Per LDC Section 60604, a driveway within a parking area shall be bordered by a landscape buffer a minimum of 6 feet in width. The applicant is requesting to eliminate this requirement to allow a 0-foot buffer adjacent to the parking area. And that's all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Applicant, please.
Good morning. Hush Govey, Northside Engineering, 300 South Belcher Road. I have been sworn in. We have worked with the staff very closely to be where we are. We had to make certain adjustments related to the calling in board and the dumpster. So all the dimensional requirements are met. Property is extremely narrow. It doesn't allow a whole bunch of room for vehicular maneuvering. Property owner at this stage of the game owns both parcels. We just built a car wash just to the west, just to the east of the site for Mr. Jallo. And now he would like to build an ice cream shop in this location. So it'll be a drive-through ice cream shop. Access, the in will be off of the car wash that we just built, and the out will be coming into the main road. We made a lot of improvements to that road and that area. So again, every effort's made to minimize the impact to the site, and hope this will meet your requirements.
Okay, so I'm looking at the, I guess it's a portion of the site plan or the survey that's in the record. And, yeah, to the east, it appears there's a retention pond. Is that part of the other parcel
Yes.
by Mr. Jallo?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And then there's the subject property, which, as you point out, appears to be very narrow.
Yes.
And so the variance, is that for both the east and the west sides?
No, just the east side. The west side we have met.
Okay.
Yes.
The west side, then on the side where the Upper Tampa Bay Trail is, that's met?
Yes.
It's just the east side, and that's adjacent to that retention pond?
Yes.
Okay.
Which, again, both properties are owned by the same person. However, there may be a sale involved in the future, and we'd like to make sure we are clean.
Yes. Okay. I understand the request. Is there any additional testimony you wish to put on the record?
I think I've said just about everything at this point. Thank you.
Okay. Be sure and sign in with the clerk.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? All right, I do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, I do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. And applicant, anything further? All right, that is a no from the applicant. So this will close variance 25-0277.
Next item is item H3, variance 250307. The applicant is Bruce E. Duncan. The request is a variance to lot development standards. Staff findings will be provided by Logan McKay.
Morning, hearing officer, Bruce Duncan, 306 South Taylor Road, Sefner, Florida, 33584. Requesting a variance to put a building at the far end of the property. It's 2.14 acres, so I can put my my business. I had a business I had to close down. I have a lot of stuff from that 32 years of business. I've got trucks, trailers, tractors, and I have to have a place to put it. And I've sold the property, so I don't have that property anymore, and I've got to put it at the home residence to make this happen. And the problem is I decided to build a building 3 foot taller than the norm. I didn't realize that at the time. And that makes it the property setback change from 7 feet to 50 feet. Well, the building's 50 foot wide, and that would put it in the middle of the property, which won't work. I would not be able to do that. So my request is to be able to put it at the at least 10 foot property setback, because there's nothing around it. There's a 5 acre field behind it that Mrs. McGinnis is not going to develop. To my south is another acre of property that Mr. Rick, he just mows it, doesn't do anything with it. And Sandy to the north has woods on the north side of it. I sent some pictures to that effect, but I don't know if you have those or not. Anyway, there's nothing around it in any direction. We have a horse. We'll probably get another horse. I don't know, but there's a possibility of an RV, and that's why I did the building as high as it is, so I could put a hoist inside the building. I'm going to work on cars and take them apart and stuff. I mean, I'm retired, but I'm still not dead.
I think we're glad to see that. Okay. I'm looking at your survey that is in the record today, before me today, and so it appears your property is rectangular shape, long and narrow. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right, and then I see you, your residence, so Taylor Road, and then your residence, and then there's an existing one-story building. Is that a storage shed or something there?
Yes, ma'am, that's my wife's horse tack room.
Okay. And then the proposed building, I guess that would be all the way over to the west side near the west property line. Is that correct?
No, ma'am, it's actually on the east property line.
You're right. I'm looking. Yes, I see that. I see the north arrow. All right. So
the house is 100 feet off the road. The building that she has for her tack and her horse trailer and her truck is probably 75 feet from the house, which I haven't really measured that, and the building and the proposed is another 100 feet to the property line. That's to the back of the property line. There's nothing else there. I just want to put my stuff in it.
That's fine. Is there any, is there any other, I guess, location that this building could be placed on your property?
I probably could, but I'd have to remove a really nice tree and put a lot of dirt in. It wouldn't be really a good way to do it.
Okay.
That's the best place for it, really is.
Okay. So then I guess, let me restate my question to you. Is there any other practical or feasible place on your property to locate this building?
No.
Okay. All right. Any additional testimony you have to put on the record?
Well, I've already talked to all the neighbors in the surrounding areas. I have signed letters with me if you need to see them, and respect that they don't have any problem with me doing this. My neighbor's got a building to the south of me that's 16 foot tall. The neighbor to the north of me's got a building that's probably 18 foot tall. And I don't really see any reasoning that there would be a problem in the impedance of the property of anybody getting to it or anybody having a problem with it.
Okay.
It's going to be a nice building. I'm not building a junk building. It's a really expensive building. I don't know if you see that or not.
All right. Your letters that you mentioned that you have, be sure and leave those with the clerk when you sign in. And if that's all your testimony, we'll go to the public comment. All right. Thank you, sir. Right here.
Okay. Thank you.
Madam Hearing Officer, we haven't heard from staff yet.
That's correct. Yes, we did this one backwards. So we'll hear from Development Services.
Good morning. Logan McKeag, Development Services, variance 250307. The applicant is requesting a rear yard setback variance for the purpose of constructing an accessory structure over 15 foot in height. Per LDC Section 6.11.04B, accessory structures over 15 feet in height shall meet the primary structure setback of the district. A 50-foot rear, and per Section 60101, a 50-foot rear yard setback is required for the AS.4 zoning district. The variance is for a 40-foot, resulting in a 10-foot rear yard setback for the structure. During the review, the subject parcel was found to be a non-conforming lot. Non-conforming lot 250611 was reviewed on the property and found it to be a legal non-conforming lot. We're available for any questions.
All right. No, I have no questions for you. Thank you. All right, now we'll go to public comment. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? All right, do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, I do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further.
Okay. And then applicant, sir, did you have anything additional you wish to put on the record?
Sure. Come and look at it when I'm done with it. You'll be surprised.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't.
Okay. Thank you. All right, that closes the hearing on variance 25-0307.
Next item is item H4, variance 250342. The applicant is Silver Corner LLC. The request is a variance to Citrus Park Village Development Standards, and staff findings will be provided by Carolyn Peddle.
Good morning, Carolyn Peddle, Development Services. Again, this is variance 250342. The applicant is requesting a variance to the number of stories required for buildings fronting on Gun Highway in the Citrus Park Village overlay. Per LDC Section 310-1501, CPV A1, buildings should have a minimum of 2 stories for those fronting Gun Highway or Eldridge Road. The applicant requests to reduce the story requirement to allow a 1-story building fronting Gun Highway. That is all.
All right, I have no questions for you then. Thank you. All right, applicant?
Hi, good morning. My name is Carlin Newman, 324 North Del Mabry Highway, Suite 300, Tampa, Florida. I am the owner of 7719 Gun Highway, and this is variance 25-0342. And as staff said, I'm looking for variance from the Citrus Park overlay requirement of a 2-story building here. I purchased, I'm not sure if you all are familiar with the property, but it's a dilapidated small strip shopping center. And it's actually, it has a Gun Highway address, but it's right where Ehrlich and Gun connect, where it dead ends into Sickles High School. So I had driven past this dilapidated property for a number of years and thought, I'm going to purchase this in honor of my father who passed away, and I'm going to fix it up and I'm going to lease it out. But then I came to find out that I wasn't permitted to do that. I need to do a new construction property. So in looking for doing the new construction property, the 2 stories requirement makes this project not feasible or practical for 2 reasons. One is construction financing. The requirement of 2 stories, the cost of construction relative to what I could lease the space for and or sell if I did mixed use upstairs residential does not add up. The numbers don't work. So there is no ability for construction financing, and to pay cash out of pocket for a project like that is not, unfortunately, in my wheelhouse. So the second challenge to this 2-story would be the increase of square footage and the parking allotment. So as you're familiar, depending on the use of the tenant and owner, there's a requirement 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots per 1,000, depending on the use. So the greater the square footage, it's a chicken and an egg with the parking and our square foot requirements of 2 stories. There has been a tremendous amount of development in this area, but larger, development out parcels. There's the public shopping center with out parcels. All of those have been granted a variance for the 2-story requirement because they are all been constructed as 1 story with a faux 2nd story, and that's what we have proposed on this parcel as well. So it is a 1-story building, but it's built up with windows and light all the way around, so it appears as a 2-story structure, and that is contiguous and similar to all the other new construction, the Jolly Car Wash that the gentleman was just here for, also the credit union, the public shopping center, everything that is going up there has done the same thing that I'm proposing to do. So just to summarize, I'm requesting the variance because otherwise I would be forced to sell the property and not move forward with the project due to the feasibility, costs, and parking. And I really would love to move forward and honor my dad with this 4-strip center, and that's why it's called Silver Corner. Yeah, so thank you so much for your time and consideration, and I hope you approve it.
Okay. I have no questions for you then.
Okay.
And thank you very much. Be sure and sign in with the clerk.
Okay, and I have nothing further.
Okay, thank you. All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? Do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further, thank you.
All right, thank you. And applicant, did you have anything further? That's a no from the applicant. All right, and this will close the hearing on variance 25-0342.
Next item is item H5, variance 250361. The applicant is Charles Sochi. The request is a variance to lot development standards and accessory structure standards. Staff findings will be provided by Logan McCaig.
Good morning. Logan McCaig, Development Services, variance 250361. The applicant is requesting setback variance to accommodate proposed accessory dwelling unit and an existing mobile home functioning as the primary dwelling unit. Per LET section 6.11.02e, an accessory dwelling unit shall meet the principal building setbacks, and per section 60101, a 50-foot rear yard setback is required in the AS1 zoning district. The applicant is requesting a variance of 40 feet, resulting in a 10-foot rear yard setback for the accessory dwelling unit. For section 60101, a minimum 50-foot front yard setback is required in the AS1 zoning district. The applicant is requesting a 17-foot variance, resulting in a 33-foot front yard setback for the existing mobile home functioning as a primary dwelling. Available for any questions.
Just looking at the survey that's attached to the backup materials, looks like there's a number of buildings on the property. And this variance is for the one, and I guess that would be on the far east, is that correct?
That's correct. It is a proposed structure not constructed yet.
Okay. All right. I have no questions for you. Thank you. All right, applicant?
Good morning. My name is Charles Sochi, 1406 South Parsons Avenue, Seffner, Florida, 33584. I'm here to represent the owners, Ted Favino and Lorenzo. They have this property that they bought that had a mobile home on it. They also have a small shop that was permitted and is legal. And now they need a place to house their mother, and they came to me to build an accessory dwelling unit. Unfortunately, they have AS1 zoning, which has pretty large setbacks, which are 50 feet front and rear. If they had different zoning, they would be fine, but they don't. When I had the survey done from the surveyor, he put all the buildings on there, and that is when we found out that whoever placed the mobile home years ago didn't abide by the front setback. So they're 33 feet from the road instead of 50, which is now noticed. So we're trying to clear that up with this, under this same variance application. I don't think we're going to have any problems with the neighbors. We've got the Tampa Executive Airport. We've got a 10-acre cow pasture behind them, and we've got the motor enclave. So nobody's going to see anything. We're basically just putting a dwelling for the mother to live her days out. So.
Okay, and again, just looking at the survey, and you mentioned those, the buildings, and on the survey, they're identified as metal buildings. There's some concrete, asphalt. So that was all permitted?
Correct. Yes. I didn't have anything to do with building those structures, but they were permitted and they are legal. So the only issues we have at this moment is the mobile home is in the wrong spot, and we want to get this accessory dwelling unit.
All right, and the survey identifies that building, it actually identifies it as an accessory building, but your testimony is, and the application shows it's going to be a dwelling?
Well, it's ADU is what it, accessory
dwelling
right.
unit.
So that means it'll be a habitable structure.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
All right. I understand your request. Is there any other feasible or practicable location on this property where that accessory dwelling unit could be located?
No, unfortunately. I mean, we scratched our heads a lot on this one. They've got a septic system and mound, and they've got a well. So there's really, I mean, this is really it.
Is the septic system behind the mobile home?
Yes, yeah, that's got a huge above ground. That was the other thing. They're exact adjacent landowners are wetlands, so they can't even be developed. So it's a very wet area. So it has a very large above ground mound for the septic.
Okay. I have no further questions for you. Do you have anything else for the record?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Be sure and sign in for the clerk. All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? Please come forward if you're speaking in support.
Morning, Madam Commissioner. Yes, I'm Theodore Favino, one of the owners of the property, along with Lorenzo Ortiz, and I'm just in support of having that dwelling so his mom can live there with us.
Okay. And you said you're one of the property owners?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Be sure and sign in with the clerk.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further.
All right. Applicant, did you have anything further? All right, the applicant says no. So that will close the hearing on variance 25-0361.
Next item is item H6, variance 250484. The applicant is Wilbert Malphus. The request is a variance to accessory dwelling requirements. Staff findings will be provided by Chris Granlenard.
Good morning. Chris Granlenard, Planner with Development Services, here to present variance 25-0484. The applicant is requesting a variance to the maximum accessory dwelling living space to accommodate an addition to the accessory dwelling on the subject property. The requested variance is to LDC section 6.11.02.c. The requirement is living space in an accessory dwelling shall be limited to a maximum of 900 square feet. A variance to increase this amount may be requested provided the residential lot is at least 14,520 feet in size and the living space proposed for the accessory dwelling does not exceed 1,200 square feet or 25% of the living space in the principal dwelling on the lot, whichever is less. The variance would be for 124 square feet increase to the maximum living area. The result would be 1,024 square feet of living area within the accessory dwelling. Findings, the property is 1.95 acres in size, and the principal dwelling living space is 6,227 square feet in size, therefore allowing for the subject variance to be requested. The accessory dwelling is labeled as pool house on the boundary survey. That includes my staff report.
All right, is this an existing building that's being converted to a dwelling unit?
Yes, it's listed as pool house on the survey.
I can speak to that a little bit for you. It's an existing accessory dwelling that they've added a little bit extra area to.
So it was an existing accessory dwelling unit? And it was an approved existing accessory dwelling unit?
Yes.
It is permitted?
Yes.
Okay, so they are proposing additional area?
The applicant confirm whether it's already there. I know that their permit that's in for review is adding the additional area to the.
Okay. I'll have the applicant speak to that. Thank you.
Yes, the applicant will speak to it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll hear from the applicant.
Hello, my name is Hassan Erica. I'll be representing the applicants who are Emily and Anthony Olson. They're the residents of 17724 Royal Eagle Lane. The various requests we are asking for is expanding the current living space from the 900 square feet to the 1,024 square foot. So it's asking for an additional 124 square foot. The variance request is consistent with the general intent in section 6.1.02C, accessory dwelling standards of the LDC. What we are asking for is in character and layout of the surrounding properties. It does not introduce any incompatible uses that would negatively affect neighboring properties and will not diminish any neighboring properties. The variance does not affect the privacy, light, air, or access of the adjacent properties. The variance also does not affect any existing infrastructure such as roads, drainage system, etc. We are asking for this because the current living space, which is 900 square feet, does not allow comfortable living in the main area, which is the living room. We currently have a bedroom and a bathroom that's already placed there, and that was already permitted, but we're asking for the additional 124 square foot to have more comfortability in the living area. Thank you for your time.
Okay, so that sort of addresses my questions then, because I was in reviewing for the hearings today, looked at aerials of this property, and it did appear there was a structure already there.
Yes.
So this variance is to support an intended expansion of that structure. Is that correct?
Yes, which is 124 square foot.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, and it's an existing accessory dwelling. You're just expanding the area of it.
Yes.
All right.
correct.
I understand.
And it doesn't affect like any views from the neighbors or anything like that, since it's already in the backyard, and we'd be expanding a wall that's towards like a grass and dirt area, so it's not really affecting anything that's already there.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Be sure and sign in with the clerk.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? I do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right. I do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further, thank you.
All right. Thank you. And applicant, did you have anything further? All right, applicant says no. So this will close the hearing on variance 25-0484.
This brings us to section I, special uses. Item I1, special use 250364. The applicant is Jason Liu. The request is a special use for COP RX alcoholic beverage permit with separation waivers. I will provide staff findings after presentation by the applicant.
All right, thank you. Applicant.
Good morning. My
Good
name is
morning.
Jason Liu. Here to request special use for COP alcohol license.
All right,
Well,
Mr. Liu, just 1 second, please. Pull that microphone down a little bit so we can hear you better. Thank you. And also state your address.
yes, 11935 Sheldon Road, Tampa.
Okay, that's fine. And then tell me what you are requesting and your support for it.
Yes, we're requesting a distant separation waiver. Currently, the restaurant has license to sell alcohol and beverages, but there's a patio that we would like to include with the restaurant permits so that the patrons can enjoy the outdoors and enjoy food and beverages.
Okay. So it's an existing restaurant, and you're just adding outdoor seating. So you're basically expanding your existing alcoholic beverage special use. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you have a 4 COP already?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And the distance waiver, that is from residential property then, right?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Anything further you wish to add?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Thank you very much. Please sign in with the clerk.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Development Services.
The applicant stated the request is a distance separation waiver for a 4 COP RX alcoholic beverage permit. The wet zoning is sought for the restaurant with 6,019 square feet of indoor area and 1,014 square feet of outdoor area for a total of 7,033 square feet. The proposed wet zoning is within 150 feet from residentially zoned property to the northeast. The proposed wet zone area is located within PD 161079 zoning, which permits mixed uses, including 3 residential duplex units that occupy the northeast corner of the parcel, approximately 111 feet from the proposed wet zoning. Several wet zone establishments, professional services, and retail stores exist within the PD area. The entrance for the proposed restaurant faces west toward Sheldon Road and away from the multifamily dwellings. For these reasons, staff finds the proposed wet zoning does not pose significant impacts on surrounding land uses, and the necessity for the specified distance requirements is negated. Staff recommends approval subject to conditions, with one condition that upon approval of special use AB 250364, the existing alcoholic beverage permit SUAB 050418 shall be rescinded. Happy to answer any questions.
All right, I have no questions for you. Thank you. All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? All right, I do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further.
Nothing, okay.
Thank you.
And applicant, anything further? All right, applicant says no. Then this will close the hearing on special use AB 25-0364.
Next item is I2, special use 250386. The applicant is now Southern LLC. The request is a special use for a school. Sam Ball will provide staff findings after presentation by the applicant.
All right, applicant.
Good morning, hearing officer. Todd Pressman, 200 2nd Avenue South, number 451 in St. Petersburg. This is special use 25-0386. It is the Navigator Academy of Leadership, South Shore, special use permit for a school, public charter school. This is a school that has been approved in the past. We're asking for a number of modifications at this time. Originally approved March 18, 2024 for a charter school, maximum of 1,000 students, K through 8, under 23-0586. Seeking 4 modifications. One is to adjust the building 2,000 square feet with no student population change. Adjust the setbacks in the site data table. Add a drop-off canopy and setback, and a DE modification of Bishop Road typical section. I do have Chris McNeil here with me today. He's the engineer. He can speak to that. And also per Mike Williams, that the offsite roadway improvements must be substantially complete for the beneficial use prior to the building receiving a temporary or permanent certificate of occupancy. So those are the issues as submitted today. We are in the Wamama area, noted here by the property appraiser. On US 41, Bishop Road to the north, Ruth Morris Road to the south. Unimproved right-of-way. Again, special use for school, 18.48 acres, of which 11.69 are wetlands. The Navigator Academy of Leadership South Shore, independent. They strive for their students to be independent learners by developing each child's intellectual curiosity and thirst for discovery. They have a number of schools that are in operation. School achievements, Mr. Jeremy Calkins is their team leader. These are just some photos of some of the existing sites. Zoning map is AS1, future land use map is WVR-2, which is the Wamama Village Residential. This is the site plan. The major arterial road is US 41 with, again, Bishop Road to the north. And this notes to you the area of the canopy, which is to provide cover for students who are being dropped off. And the small amount of square footage is more or less a strip along the very front of the building, which is not the scale, but just give you an idea where that is. But again, that's just a minor 2,000 square feet compared to 67,000 square feet and no increase in student population. Everything else remains the same: circulation, wetland conservation, playground, split arrival, dismissal, vehicle storage calculation, and all those elements. So with that, we appreciate your consideration. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
All right, thank you. Have no questions for you.
Thank you.
Be sure and sign in, please. All right, Development Services.
Good morning, Sam Ball of Development Services. The applicant is requesting special use approval for a public charter school with a maximum enrollment of 1,000 students, grades kindergarten through 8th. The property is, the AS1 zoning designation allows for private and charter schools as a special use in accordance with LDC 61188. The subject property covers 18.48 acres and is located along the east side of US 301 with Bishop Road to the north and Morris Road to the south. Of the 18.48 acres, the property contains approximately 11.66 acres of wetlands. The property was approved for special use with up to 1,000 students, 50 classrooms, and 65,000 square feet under special use 230586 on March 18th, 2024. If this application is approved, the school would still be limited to 50 classrooms and a maximum enrollment of 1,000 students, but the maximum size of the school will be 67,000 square feet. Due to the amount of wetland coverage and Note 34 in the Land Development Code of 60101, the resulting floor area ratio is 0.18. Which is under the maximum allowed under the future land, under the comp plan. The proposed playground area is placed behind the school and surrounded by wetlands and stormwater retention areas, which would avoid any interference to residential property in the area. The 2,000 square foot increase to the currently approved 65,000 square foot area, staff finds will not have a significant impact on the area because the number of students and classrooms is not being increased and the change in setbacks is minor. The last thing to note is that the access to Bishop Road is basically essential. Therefore, the driveway to the Bishop Road is exempt from the 30-foot wetland setback requirement. Based on these considerations, staff finds the proposed school compatible with a mixture of residential uses in the area and approvable subject to conditions. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. I have no questions for you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone here or online who wish? Well, we do go to Planning Commission on this one, don't we? I'm sorry. Almost skipped that. Planning Commission.
Yes, good morning. Alexis Myers, Planning Commission staff. The subject site is located in the Waimama Village Residential 2 Future Land Use category. It is in a rural area within the limits of the Waimama Village and South Shore Area-Wide Systems Community Plans. The special use meets the intent of Future Land Use Section Policy 4.6.1 that states that residential support uses is an allowable land use in any of the residential, commercial, and industrial land use plan categories. Based upon those considerations, Planning Commission staff find the proposed special use consistent with the unincorporated Hillsborough County Comprehensive Plan, subject to the proposed restrictions by the Development Services Department.
All right, thank you very much. Now we'll go to the public. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? All right, do not hear anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? All right, do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further.
All right, and applicant, anything further?
Yeah, two points. First of all, there is an error in the PowerPoint. It's not US 41, it's 301.
301, thank you.
That's my error, my bad, but I didn't want you to be confused if you pull it up in the future. And secondly, Mr. McNeil may be aware that the design exception has been found approvable by the county attorney.
All right.
Or county engineer.
County engineer, right. Thank you. I appreciate that. This will close the hearing on special use 25-0386.
The next item is item I4, special use 250471. The applicant is John Whitefish Rock and Roll Sushi. The request is a special use 2 COP alcoholic beverage permit with separation waivers. Caroline Peddle will be providing staff findings after presentation by the applicant.
All right, applicant?
Hello, I'm online.
All right.
Sorry, I was hoping to be there in person, but I'm recovering from a medical issue. I should be good by the end of the week. My name is John Weisfish. Address is 1218 Owl Creek Drive, Winter Springs, Florida, 32708. My family and I opened a rock and roll sushi restaurant in November of 2024 at 5629 Circa Fish Hawk Boulevard, Lithia, Florida, 33547. Rock and Roll Sushi is a franchise, 74 locations nationwide, and part of our core offering is beer, wine, and sake. So our location there is an end cap, roughly 1,600 square foot interior with a patio, and we began the application process back in November for a 2-cop, which is, again, it's not liquor, it's just beer, wine, and sake. And if we do get approved, then I can finalize the application with the state of Florida, and then finally have our grand opening.
Okay, and you're requesting a distance waiver. Let's see.
Yes, there's a apartment complex behind us.
Okay. Let me get to your survey. Okay, I see. I see. So you're in the shopping center, basically, and there's a apartment complex behind the shopping center. And this is why the distance waiver is required? Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. We're in a public shopping plaza, the Great Clips, the Publix liquor store, and then the waivers because the residents are just behind our building.
Okay. All right, I see. Anything further?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll go to Development Services.
Good morning, Caroline Peddle, Development Services. Again, this is special use AB 250471. The applicant is requesting a 2 COP special use alcoholic beverage permit with distance waivers to allow for the sale of beer and wine for consumption on and off premises. Distance separation waiver is sought for the restaurant as it is located within a mixed-use development approved for commercial, retail, and residential uses. In regards to a 2 COP, per LDC Section 61111D5, A, the distance from the proposed structure to certain community uses shall be 500 feet. The applicant is requesting a waiver distance of 291 feet, resulting in a separation of 209 feet. Per LDC Section 61111D5B, the distance from the proposed structure to residentially zoned properties shall be 250 feet. The applicant is requesting a waiver distance of 170.3 feet, resulting in a separation of 79.7 feet. Staff finds the proposal approvable, and this would be for a total wet zone area of 3,093 square feet. That concludes my staff report.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
No questions for you. Thank you. All right, is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in support of this application? Not hearing anyone. Is there anyone here or online who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? Do not hear anyone. Development Services, anything further?
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And applicant, did you have anything further you wish to add?
No, I don't. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you. This closes the hearing on special use AB 25-0471, and that concludes the Land Use Hearing Officer meeting for today.